Hello and welcome to episode 9. Last episode I finally got myself some elytra, but I currently don't have any access to large amounts of gunpowder and paper, so that's going to be the first goal of today's episode. The design I want to use can be built over land, but I'm going to be building it over the water anyway. There's a nice area up north for this, and I'll probably keep most of the automatic farms to that same area. I also want to try and make an emerald farm this episode with an illager spawner. I was really hoping that big pirate ship would have them, but after getting closer, it's clear that this is a skeleton ship. Thankfully, when I went to check out the Northern Ocean area for the gunpowder farm, I was able to check on another pirate ship in the area. This one does have illagers. I haven't checked below deck, however, I am fairly confident there will be at least one spawner, meaning that we should be able to get a proper emerald farm up and going, and it will make trading that much easier. For the gunpowder farm, I'm going to be needing a lot of stone and a lot of quartz, so we'll start out by heading on a mining trip to the nether. Let's go. Okay, these are so loud. Now that we're in the nether, I've got some rockets. I accidentally crafted some of each type, so it might work out for the better, honestly. I'm going to be needing a lot of quartz blocks right now. I've got 12, so I'm gonna be mining a lot. I don't have my fortune pick with me because it'll probably just make stuff way harder to collect in large quantities. So I'm keeping my silk touch pick, and we're gonna be grabbing as much quartz as we can. Hopefully not falling into lava. So let's put that on 5 so I know which button to press easily. Last thing I need right now is a ghast, so hopefully that doesn't happen. If I actually extend this all the way out, I can build a bridge straight over into that direction, which would be quite nice. Just expand the starting area. I would like to build something down here at some point as well. There's definitely more quartz that way. There's also the sand, which is quartz sand, I think. So let's see what I can get from here. Obviously all of these are great. Is this going to be... Yes, I can immediately turn that into quartz. Nice. It's not doing a weird silk touch thing. Awesome. This is going to be a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. I completely forgot that this biome was right here. I'd love to make a Minecraft mod one day. I think it could be pretty cool. Would probably focus more on biomes and creatures. Maybe tools and stuff. Not so much, like I couldn't do questing stuff, that's too much for me. Why is there a villager here? Les, you're in the wrong dimension, buddy. The reason I need a lot of quartz is because it's not necessary for the gunpowder farm. But I'm going to be planting sugarcane below it so that it grows while I'm AFK, and then I can harvest more than enough. It doesn't have to be an automatic farm. And the design I want to use is very simple, but it involves a lot of quartz. So that is why this is necessary. Probably the easiest part of the build, honestly. Even stone is going to be annoying to get. Ooh. Another thing that I need to get while I'm here, which I've completely forgotten about, don't know why, is shroom light. Although I am going to grab some glowstone just in case I can't get shroom light. Because this should look okay as well. Might use a mix of shroom light and glowstone. That sounded awful. Somewhere over there. There's some shroom light up that way, so let's move in that direction. Ouch. Here we go. Cool, that should be fine. I should get a good amount of quartz out of this. I might have to come back again. We'll see how much I can gather. And then home is somewhere in that direction. After coming back from the nether, all that was left was to gather a bunch of stone and wood. As I already had all the iron necessary for the build, this didn't take that long, and soon it was time to head off to the ocean and start. There is some driftwood out here in the ocean that makes a perfect spot to start construction. The gunpowder farm that I'm building here is from a video by Gunpowder. I'll be putting a link to it in the description for anyone interested in checking it out. As someone who's never built a gunpowder farm before, this was really straightforward and pretty easy to follow. He even goes on to explain how the farm can be adjusted for different mob types. I obviously intended for creepers, but I've also left it possible for spiders to spawn as well, since it produces more than enough gunpowder for me, and I'm sure I'll be needing the string for crafting at some point. With this, I don't have to worry about building a spider farm in the future. I was also looking at some automatic sugarcane farm designs, but after testing out the gunpowder farm in a build world, I realized I can just plant the sugarcane below and it'll grow while I'm AFK. Once all the sugarcane is planted, it provides more than enough paper after an AFK session. So I shouldn't have to upgrade this at a later point, aside from possibly changing the exterior design of it if I ever decide to do that. Building it from the ground up, we start with a group of hoppers placed in the center, move up around 30 blocks I think to create the catchment area. There's a slight difference here from the tutorial though, as the slabs can now be waterlogged. It's a super easy workaround though, as you just need to raise the temporary blocks by one level and then place the water on the side of them instead of on the slabs. I also have to place a ring of torches up here because this mod pack has a winter season where the source blocks will freeze if I leave it dark. It probably affects the rates of it, but from what I've seen in testing, it still generates more than enough gunpowder for one person to use. Once that's all done, it's time to build the center column, which is just a tower of dispensers and observers. After that, each platform is made with some added trapdoors to prevent the taller spawns. It's then topped off with a larger roof, some redstone, and is completed with a glass AFK spot. Now that we have a functioning gunpowder farm, all that's left to do is make the base platform where the sugarcane will be grown. I'm using waterlogged slabs to remove any holes I could fall into while clearing out the area. And I've probably put too many lights down here, but I'd rather be safe than unintentionally release creepers into a sugarcane field. They're really hard to see. And for the final touch, I found a waystone on one of my quartz collecting trips, so I'm placing it near the entrance. This is going to be great because I don't have to waste any rockets getting out here, as it's a little bit out of the way. And now it'll just cost one level, so I think that's a good alternative. So this area is finally done. I just need to wait for some sugarcane to grow, so I think I'm going to go up an AFK again, which means I'll have quite a nice backlog of gunpowder. And I should have more than enough sugarcane to fill this area up, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, this farm area is officially complete. The mob farm version, well, the mob farm portion is functioning, and I have a good amount of stuff sitting in here. It's actually backing up into this now. We still have one or two zombies and skeletons coming through. But that's not too much of a problem. And that is a bunch of Flight Duration 3 rockets. And I still have a bunch of sugarcane and a ton of gunpowder. So this is more than enough for me, I think. Let's grab these and head home. I no longer have to worry about rockets, and it's now super easy to get to the farm's location even without elytra thanks to that waystone. After heading back home to drop off all of the items I'd picked up in the process of building, it's time to head over to that illager ship to see if it has a spawner inside. Landing on top, it's easy enough to deal with the crossbowmen on deck, especially with the bow I have. It only takes 1 or 2 hits to take them out. The real problem is dealing with the Vindicators below. These guys hit like a truck. Okay, so it is the axe guys. That is good to know. Can I, if I land at the bottom here, I think I should be able to get in from the side. Can I see spawner Vindicator? Yeah. And drowns. Ow! Oh, that's not great. That is not great. That is not great. Do I not have my bed on me? Okay, guess we're flying back. At this point, I figured it would be worth checking out the Illager camp at home, since there's a possibility that it might have a spawner as well. This is so dark. Got some cool stuff. Purple dye. Ooh. If I can find more of that here, I can make my own waystone. My first time actually coming and visiting. Oh, it's a pig. A lot of slime balls and stuff. There's some more purple dye, some emeralds. Nope, doesn't seem to be. After some snooping around for a bit, I wasn't able to find any spawners in the camp. I did find some enchanted books and some extra loot that I've just left in the chests for now. With the camp being a dud, I went back to the ship and started building the Illager farm. I'm building this out of spruce wood because it's easy to get and the farm isn't going to stay here for that long. I'd like to eventually move it to the Illager camp and turn it into a nice tower build for the area, but at the moment it's too dangerous to take long distances as they can kill me in 2 hits, and if it gets dark I'm going to have to put it down to sleep. With the elevator finished though, it is time to go get that spawner. Okay, that should be fine, I hope. Okay, I've grabbed a spawner. That was slightly more dangerous than I was expecting it to be. Let's go so much faster on the ice. Okay, so when it might get dangerous again. We saw one spawn, and he's dropped, and he still has a lot of health. After I put the spawner inside, it's clear that the drop height is too low. I tried lowering it, but that takes you further from the spawner, so I ended up raising the bubble elevator by around 7 blocks. They now end up with around 1.5 to 2 hearts, which is much more manageable. I then spent around 30 minutes at the farm to test the rates, starting with around 25 emeralds. Okay, well, it's been about half an hour. I've been sitting in here for a while. They drop in fairly regularly. They do a ton of damage if they do manage to hit you on the way down, though. Anyway, so it's been about half an hour. I have managed to, on top of the 25 I started with, get close to 2 extra stacks. So definitely worth building one, if you can obviously get the spawners in whatever mods you're using. So this is definitely pretty useful. And it's going to make trading with villagers so much better. I've also just realized that I completely forgot about the shaders again. Yeah, so this works as intended. Because I can get emeralds, I don't have to worry too much about the weird trades that villagers offer. Obviously, certain things will just be in abundance to begin with, so they are easier trades, but now that I can basically get emeralds for free, I should be able to level up my villagers much quicker, which is something that's going to be a bit of a focus on the following episode. But yeah, I'm super happy this works. It does look terrible at the moment, especially with the currently anchored pirate ship. But this is temporary, and the final one will look significantly better. That'll probably be 2 or 3 episodes away. This is a very cool looking valley area. Because this following episode, so episode 10, is going to involve some start on the village area. Now, I'm not going to be working directly on the village to start with. Hello. As much as these guys probably would like to be able to get out of that sheep pen, I'm going to start something on top of the mountain there. There's this nice flat section of mountain up here, and what I've been thinking, because I want to get started with villager trading, it'll make life a lot easier, and with this mountain up here, I've wanted to put something at the top, and I've been going back and forth thinking about like certain ideas that I've been interested in but also not too fond of, and then I was thinking, with the village being right there, I could do a kind of what I'm going to be calling, I guess, like the academy in a sense, just a general blanket term for it. So I'm going to be building at the top here essentially like a villager raising facility, where I can get villagers into the jobs that are necessary, and then eventually when I have certain ones that I want, I can send them over to the village over there and place them in designated shops, setting up like the armorer, weaponsmith and toolsmith into like a smithy area in the village and everything. Like that's my goal. Like each kind of role or group of roles is going to have its own kind of section, and in order to do that I need to start breeding and providing jobs to different villages. So I figured the top here, since I want to be building up here, is the best possible place for it, I guess. There's a nice flat area. I can do quite a nice size build up here and have like, say, a courtyard and garden on the outside. Like do something really cool. It shall also overlook the mine entrance and kind of little forestry area there, as well as my initial base area. So this is going to be quite cool, I think. Oh look, there's a there's a little raiding party behind me. These guys pop up so often. There's a baby with them. Oh my gosh, that's actually really cute. I wonder if he's got a tiny crossbow. I think he does. Oh my gosh, he's got a tiny crossbow. That is so cute. Oh, that is adorable. It's probably the most dangerous one over there, to be honest. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be starting from next episode. It probably won't be a single episode project. Because there'll be the main academy building, I guess, and then there will be like an outer section of accompanying buildings and like a wall and extra stuff, courtyards, whatever. So that is gonna take up probably a similar space to the like farmhouse and stuff around it, but it's gonna be a lot more work and a lot taller. So that's something, like I say, it's going to probably take 2 or 3 episodes to finish completely, because it doesn't just end behind me over here, it's going to make its way across towards the village as well. So I'm really excited to see where it goes. I think it's going to be the first like major build that I'll be doing. I've obviously done a lot of time consuming stuff at the bottom there, specifically the trees. But everything's relatively small scale so far, so I think this build is going to be the start of some cool stuff. I'm probably going to end this episode here. Definitely needs to be out by now. This past week has been a bit of a roller coaster. So I hope you've enjoyed, and I'd love to see you in the next one. Bye!